Dr. John Hayes in the house every week at this time. For a better experience at the doctor's office, try Dr. John Hayes' new highly personalized and affordable direct primary care practice. Find out more at drjohnhayesjr.com. That's drjohnhayesjr.com. Morning, Dr. Hayes.
Hey, good morning, Rob. Good morning, Beth.
How are you?
Good, guys. Good to be back.
Time to stay cool.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I know. Because of the, we got that big, bright, warm sun, and we know a lot of people want to take in the sunshine.
Right.
We talked about getting those important vitamins. That's the good part, but you got to stay covered, but dangerous toxins in sunscreen.
Yeah, so you know what? This is a really, really important topic, but before we start this, just a couple announcements that are really important that we'll talk more about. Number one, we talked about this a little bit before, but we have a brand new tool in the office called a DermaSensor, which is an AI-driven tool used by the Mayo Clinic and other large institutions to help us detect skin cancers early. Mm-hmm. So we're starting to open that up within the next week or so. If you saw some videos we posted this week on social media and another one to come regarding this, so any questions, concerns, reach out. It's a phenomenal tool. The other thing is our practice was selected by a company called HerScan to do diagnostic breast ultrasounds, which is another big topic. In fact, we'll do a whole show on this coming up shortly. But this is actually going to be hosted in our practice on Wednesday, August 13th.
Oh, cool.
So anybody that's interested, again, we'll talk about this in much more detail. Mark that date down because the spaces are limited. So, but good stuff. So, yeah, onward. So, dangerous toxins in sunscreen. This is something that's deeply disturbing. So, one of the questions I had years ago, so I'm looking at some of the sunscreen ingredients. So this is toxic for the coral reefs, but we still give it to humans.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, what the hell's going on with that? Seriously.
Wait, hold on. Explain that again. Dangerous for coral reefs?
Yes. So
but we give it to humans.
Well, so here's the thing. So if you look at the first one on the list, and guys, this is a great blog post we updated yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, so oxybenzone and octinoxate are actually hormones that can penetrate the skin, enter the bloodstream, and potentially cause endocrine disruption, hormone disruption, which is particularly important. They also have been shown to harm the coral reefs and marine life, leading in some places to bans. They're banned in Hawaii and a lot of other places now because of that.
Oh, because they break it down?
Exactly. So it's that's like an oversimplification, but
yeah.
The other thing that you have to be very careful of, so there are some brands out there that advertise themselves as natural sunscreens. Mm-hmm. And you look at it, oh boy, I'm going to buy this. And but you look at the ingredients and like, oh, that's not natural. So be careful. Yeah. Seriously, be careful. And we'll fast forward a little bit and talk about what the best alternatives are, in my opinion. You know, I'm not playing dermatologist here. The other thing, and I posted this on the blog yesterday, is if you are a skin cancer patient, you follow your dermatologist's advice, period. Yep. There are exceptions. Everything we talk about every week is risk versus benefits. Okay. So this is not like a frou-frou thing that everything we're talking about here is bad, but you just want to stay aware. As if you have an alternative, use it.
Yeah, because doctor, I mean, I guess everybody said in the old days about putting on cooking oil or really not putting on anything for the old days, and then now we're told sunscreen is so important, and I feel that most people are putting on sunscreen, but I think you're right. We're not looking at the bottle maybe, and we're saying, well, I'll just slab on a lot of this stuff and I'll be safe, right?
Well, that's become an issue. There's much more awareness about this now than was even 5 years ago, but I definitely think it's worth revisiting.
Yeah.
The next one that's important is retinol palmitate or vitamin A. When exposed to sunlight, there is some evidence that even though it's beneficial when not exposed to sunlight, can possibly speed up the development of skin tumors.
That's the opposite of exactly.
I know. Okay. I know. So there's a photochemical reaction. So photochemical reactions are basically when certain chemicals react with certain wavelengths of light.
Yeah.
We do laser and infrared therapy, so that's infrared light, much like the sun, although the sun has a much broader spectrum of light. There are certain photochemical reactions you need to be aware of. So everything on your skin is not cool in the sun.
Yeah.
So you want to watch for that for sure. And some of the other things that we listed here, so parabens are well known. They are preservatives that have been used forever, really, to prevent the growth of bacteria, but they can mimic estrogen and also cause hormone dysfunction or hormone disruption. Homosalate is another one. It can accumulate in the body faster than it can be eliminated, causing or disrupting hormone levels. Phthalates, plasticizers, these are better known. They are sometimes used in fragrances, sometimes can actually be in sunscreens as well. That's one thing you definitely want to take off your list for sure.
Okay.
And then, so getting down to the end here, because I think this is wicked important. So I'm a big fan of zinc oxide sunscreen for most patients. Now, there are some exceptions, but you have to be sure it is a non-nano zinc. So nanoparticles are microparticles that the body can actually absorb. And zinc, maybe not so bad, but titanium, bad. Yeah. So look for non-nano zinc oxide.
Isn't diaper rash cream similar to zinc oxide?
Well, yeah. So zinc oxide does have a lot of benefits. Yeah. Zinc itself has a lot of health benefits we know, but in terms of protecting and reflecting light and broader spectrums of light. Yeah. Not that it's perfect, but for many, many people, the non-nano zinc oxide is my favorite.
Is the non-nano label easy to find, or you have to go dig in?
No, so this is what's cool. Now, you can dig in. Even if you search online, you have to scroll down to the ingredients. You have to take a look and see what else might be in there. Yeah. There are some really, really good sunscreens now that are manufactured by smaller outfits, people that custom manufacture cosmetics and that type of thing, which are just fantastic. Yeah, they're a little more expensive, but I've used them and I've had patients use them and be extremely happy with them.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So, how do you feel about the shirts with SPF protection? Are those a good alternative?
Well, they are. So you guys, when I wear scrubs, I oftentimes wear the Naviskin. So, and I've contacted Naviskin. They have no phthalates in them.
Oh,
they
wow.
have no preservatives in there, no PFAs, etc. Those are really good. Those are 50 SPF shirts. They're awesome.
You have to look for phthalates in clothing,
well, so
fabric?
This is the thing. So PFAS, forever chemicals, is a huge issue. This is another whole show in itself.
Right.
The dangers of PFAS in underwear.
Yes.
No, seriously.
Yeah,
seriously.
That's why you should buy cotton, 100% cotton underwear.
100% cotton. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, so now, go ahead. Because of the sunscreens, then, will these things that we are looking for, are these the words that are on the bottles that we have to avoid?
They should be. Okay. They should be. But again, the thing that's bothered me before is I've looked at some sunscreens. In fact, I actually bought one that's, it's all natural. And look, holy cow, it's got Oxybenzone in it.
Oh,
look at that. Holy cow. Can't use this in Hawaii, but it's all natural.
Yeah, so Dr. John Hayes, somebody texted in on the text line and said, can you suggest a few brands?
So there are multiple brands now, but the biggest thing is to just look for the non-nano zinc oxide.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes right now you're better off to buy them online.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So and there are, like I said, there's more good ones out there than there've ever been before.
Yeah, because I think that's definitely something that people would want to be doing is just tell me what to get. So I don't know about you.
Well, you know what?
There's so many on those shelves.
So what I'll do is I will send you guys, and I'll also make sure this goes up on our site, the ones that we've used before successfully.
Okay.
I think that would be very helpful.
That'd
be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
Let's see. Ed from Marshfield said, I frequently go to St. John, U.S. Virgin Island. Many of the beaches do not allow certain sunscreens in fear of damaging the coral reef.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
That's Ed from Marshfield confirming what you were just talking
Absolutely.
about.
Absolutely. I've noticed a lot of people, this brand has gotten particularly popular. I don't know if you can comment on it, but the Sunbum brand, and I went on their website.
Well, again, double check the list of ingredients.
So, octocrylene, do you know that one?
No, but I'm sure it's... I would have to investigate that
one. And then homosalate.
We just talked about that. It's listed on the list, causing possible accumulation of the body.
There you
go. Hormone disruption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of discourse online, among kind of these uncredible health bloggers, right? There's I feel like there's a lot of dangerous...
Oh, you mean an influencer?
Yeah, an influencer. That's
my favorite term.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are having, kind of a debate about sunscreen, but at the end of the day, we do need some sort of sun protection, correct?
Yes, we do, but we also need sun exposure.
Yeah.
We talked about that, and we again, another really, really good show for this summer. We'll do it.
Well, a lot of these influencers, these pseudo-health influencers, are saying that, we survived so long without sunscreen.
Well, we did. We did. And the other thing, we should mention this before this is over, is your diet has an influence on how well you protect your skin and how fast you either sunburn or recover from sunburn.
Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. So, again, really, really important to know. Diet affects everything.
Yeah, it really
Emphasize
does.
the fruits, vegetables, bright colored fruits and vegetables. Seriously, this time of year, oranges.
I do think zinc oxide cream is a wonder cream for a lot of things.
It is.
Yeah,
It
I've
really
used it
is.
for a couple of things on my skin, and not sun protection particularly, but
Exactly.
it does help heal a lot of things.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does. Yep.
Well, important stuff to think about when you do want to get some sunshine. And obviously, we do want to spend time in the sun because we've talked about the dangers of just sitting in a cave all the time and getting no sunshine.
Correct.
But then, of course, you're right. How much time do you spend outside? And be sure that you protect yourself. But don't make it worse by putting on something, in some case, that could even make the condition worse.
Yeah, and really good points, guys. You deep dive a little bit, stay out of rabbit holes, but
No, I
be
appreciate
careful.
this.
Just
Good
be
stuff.
careful. Yep.
Dr. John Hayes, you can read the blog Dangerous Toxins in Sunscreen at drjohnhayesjr.com, drjohnhayesjr.com. You can also text or chat his office. It's located in Marshfield. He's local, 781-659-7989. 781-659-7989. Dr. John Hayes, thank you so much as always.
Of course. Thank you, guys. Take
Living
care.
and practicing by design. We do it every week at this time on WATD.